Wonderful to have you here today. My name is Francesco Esteban Jotes IV. I've owned Frankie Jotes' farm and petting zoo for almost 15 years, and I've been farming all my life. I was shearing the sheep that day that little girlie over there broke my fence as well as her wrist. She was standing on the fence like my sign said not to, and I was too far to stop her from falling, and she should have seen the signs. I have them plastered on every fence to ensure maximum safety for my animals, my customers, and myself. She came in from this real fancy silver car, and she and her mama were wearing some really fancy dresses. I wasn't sure if it was the smartest thing to wear to a petting zoo, but hey, the customer's always right. That is, if they aren't climbing the fence. She walked over, and from this distance, I could tell she was at least 7 years old. I figured she should be able to read by now, so I kept on cheering. Her mama came over and gave me her admission fee from her jewel-encrusted purse without even looking at me. I did feel a little off-put, but I went with it. Now, this here little girl wearing her glittery and sparkly dress walked toward my little Jamie. I guess I gotta mention it, Jamie here is one of my favorite goat animals, a little baby goat. Sorry. My son called me inside the barn as I finished shearing, something about a splinter. I went inside to see him crying his eyes out, as the little ones do. I grabbed some tweezers and pulled it out and went out the back door to check on the horses. I gave them their food, combed their manes, and I walked back around the barn to see that my fence was broken and little Jamie was missing. I think I might have heard Diana yelling at Ruby something about how she shouldn't have been climbing my fence, which she shouldn't have, but from what I could tell, it was too late. My fence fell and Jamie was nowhere to be found. I panicked. My poor girl was probably running around without me to guide her and without that fence to stop her. I mean, I could just imagine poor little Jamie running around the streets. She had to be terrified. I was about to go search him at the house when I was alerted by one kind motorcyclist. I believe that his name is Rocky. He ran up to me, screaming wildly about some Cheetos, and I noticed he had a motorcycle on the nearby road. Leading away from it was a trail of cheesy puffs. I could see little Jamie following the trail and eating. Jamie, I screamed. I was amazed to see her safe. I ran toward her and picked her up, and I thanked Rocky for his time and service. I carried her on over to her pen when I remembered that the fence was broken. My sons, the little one I told you about, Sammy, and my older one, Todd, helped rebuild the fence after we tied Jamie to a fence post. She was my favorite goat, and I almost lost her forever. When we finished, I untied Jamie and placed her back in her pen. When I thought the drama was over, I saw her fidgeting, and like Sammy before, she had a splinter in her leg. It was much harder to remove a splinter from her, but I did it. Of course, my sons had to hold her down. I walked over, and though that little girl climbed my fence, I know what the little ones are like. She was probably curious, I was thinking, and so I walked toward the fancy car that my customers drove here in. I looked over to see poor Ruby with her hand wrapped in her dress, crying her eyes out. I could only think that she had hurt her wrist. I offered to help, but Diana, or Mrs. DeGreedy, refused and said, and I quote, "I can't believe someone could be so careless around their customers." And I was trying to help. I thought all the excitement was done when I was alerted that this would be taken to court, and here we are now. Apparently, according to my older son's Todd, this girl was responsible for my fence falling down as she was climbing all over it. I thought she'd read the signs, but I guess not. Not only that, but she wants to blame me for her injuries. It's simply not true. I was taking care of my animals. The girl's mother should have paid more attention to her daughter and made sure she wasn't climbing. And from what I can tell, these people are rich. They can shed a few $1,000s. My point is, ladies and gents, is that poor Jamie is the victim here, not this little girl. I do feel very bad for Ruby's injuries, but I know that the DeGreedys can afford to pay for it. They had enough money to pay for a diamond purse, a designer dress, and a fancy silver car. So why, I ask you ladies and gentlemen of the jury, why can't they afford to pay for a little girl's injury? Not to mention, now I need to pay for damages to my fence, seeing as somebody didn't read the signs and somebody else wasn't watching her daughter. Jamie is traumatized and won't go anywhere near someone wearing purple without having a fit. I can't afford to repair this fence as well as maintain the rest of the farm. Things have been pretty slow lately. I may have a nice farm, but I'm no millionaire. Use your sense, please. If not for me, for the true victim in this case, my little goat, Jamie.
Thank you very much, and that is one very well-behaved goat.